All of us have been really dedicated to the process, and we put a lot of time into the Flugtag team, not just in building and designing our craft, but also in developing our performance and our skit that will come before our flight.
Violet and I both have more or less about 14 years of dance experience. I'm personally more in a classical ballet background where she's more lyrical, and I know that she's dabbled in a couple different types such as like tap and jazz and all of that. She's more of like the Broadway version of myself. For my other team members who really haven't done anything like this before, it's been really helpful having Violet to help me and for myself to help Violet in order to put something like this together.
Since we chose Game of Thrones as our theme, we're doing this one scene from it and extrapolating from that, but that's our inspiration.
I mean, I do think that Red Bull will appreciate our performance because everyone goes the comedic route and then will be something entirely different that stands out. Draper wanted me to try out a couple hours of hang gliding, first for safety reasons, so that I actually know what I'm doing on the day of, and also so I get used to the idea of, or the sensation of actually being up in the air and having my weight carried by a craft.
All of us were beginners. We didn't really have any experience with it, and it's really pretty hard to learn how to do, but a lot of the techniques will be good for our flight with our glider. You learn how to pitch your body and lean in different ways to fly faster or fly for a longer amount of time.
Earlier this summer, we ran some cart tests. So we had a cart at Draper that we used, and we loaded it up with weights that would be the equivalent of what a cart, a glider, and a pilot would weigh.
Our glider will be on top of a cart, and so our plan is to push the cart while Sarita runs on top of the cart. So basically you have like two vectors going forward to kind of increase our velocity as much as possible. So she'll have 10 feet to run, and we'll have 40 feet to push her on this platform.
While I was designing the cart, we had a lot of constraints that we had to follow. So the total weight of the craft, pilot, and cart have to be 400 pounds. So I had to take into account what the glider would weigh, what the pilot would weigh, and had to make sure that my cart was underneath that limit.
In Flugtag, it's pretty customary to jump in the water after your performance, so everything goes in the water. It's the glider, the cart, and the people.
So we went to the MIT high dive because it is roughly the same height as the platform that we will be jumping off of. It definitely helps having experience hitting the water and knowing what to expect. I mean, I personally haven't jumped off the high dive before that, and I know that the first couple times it was just a little bit intimidating, just having to really go for it and jump into the water and knowing the proper technique. This entire experience has been so fun and so educational for all of us, whether we had an engineering background or a project management background, and it's just been so valuable for us to see something from start to finish and be able to actually see our work like actually fly in the end. It's going to be incredible.